Hey, hello addicted! After 2 weeks of forced and unwanted vacations from creating videos, I'm back again with the 8th episode of the 99. This week we're taking a look at one of the most annoying decks I have, because we're not going to let our enemies play anything. This is Counter Everything. Grand Arbiter Augustin IV is our commander. He makes the spells our opponents control 1 mana more expensive, while our white and blue spells cost 1 mana less each. So if we cast something that is both white and blue, it costs 2 less. So, as you might have guessed, this is a control deck. The goal of the deck is to make our opponents hate us and quit. We can win with commander damage, but normally they rage quit first. As I said, we don't want our opponents to play. To do this, we either counter their spells or exile what we allow to be cast. Starting with the counters, we run Confirm Suspicious, which also creates 3 clues for drawing later. Counterspell. Desertion will let us steal an artifact or creature. Iris Snatch let us steal any spell. Disallow to counter anything they try to do. Dissipate to exile a card instead. Force of Will in case we have no mana available. Insidious Will in case we want to copy a ramp spell, for example, or we can counter a spell or change its target if needed. Mana Drain to get extra mana next turn. Mana Leak because we can make the spell 4 extra with Augustin. Memory Lapse to ruin their next turn's draw too. Mystic Confluence let us draw and return creatures to hand. We can choose 3 things, it's very versatile. Besides, it was actually pretty expensive and then it got reprinted in Battle on the final round, so it's now pretty cheap. Ogutai's command will cost only 2 mana with Augustin in play and will let us draw and counter a creature. Overrule to gain life. Remand to return the spell to hand and also let us draw a card. Render silent to not let them cast anything else. Rethink to make them pay the spell again. Rewind to untap 4 lands, and with Augustin in play, this basically gives us an extra mana. Spell Pierce counters a non-creature spell unless they pay 2. Spell Swindle to give us treasure tokens, which is great if we are short of mana. Steal Sabotage let us counter an artifact or return an artifact to hand. Turn 1 island, then counter the Restore Ring like a boss. A Stifle counters an ability, it could be an activated ability or a trigger ability. A Spelljack to kidnap a spell. Summary Dismissal exiles all other spells instead of counter them, and also counters all abilities, so Storm will not be a problem. Syncopate to exile the card. Time Stop is not often seen as a counter spell, but exile the spell in the stack and end the turn. It's really mean, it's something normally people don't see coming. You can deal with spells that can be countered this way, so it's pretty good. And Unwind that is like Rewind because it doesn't have lands, but this one only counters non-creature spells. Then we have Declaration of Naught that counters a card you name by paying a single blue. Normally we're going to choose the commander, so if we let a blue mana, they are not going to play the commander. Venser Shaper Savant returns a spell to hand or a permanent, so we can deal with stuff that can be countered. And Voidmage Husher that counters an activated ability and can be returned to hand if you play another spell. And if you think this is everything we have, you're wrong. We play some stuff in case we let something in the board. For example, Reflector Mage returns a creature to hand and it can be cast until our next turn. Venser, as we mentioned, returns anything to hand, just in case we let something be cast. Out of Silence can blow an artifact or enchantment, and it also makes our opponents pay 2 more for them. Darksteel Mutation gives our opponent a blocker that does nothing. This is amazing in case you want to, for example, let the opponent cast the commander, and then we just Darksteel Mutate it, and they have a 0/1 indestructible that does absolutely nothing. Then we have Detention Sphere and Oblivion Ring, which let us exile any non-permanent as long as they remain on the field. Besides, Detention Sphere can let us deal with tokens. Mark of Eviction returns itself an enchanted creature to hand at our upkeep. Slow Motion makes our opponents pay 2 mana during their upkeep, or they sacrifice a creature, and the best part of it is that Slow Motion returns to hand when it goes to the graveyard. Stony Silence shoots down mana rocks and equipment. This affects us too, but as you will see later, we don't worry too much about that. Boomerang returns a permanent to hand, any permanent, so yeah, you can return lands. Cyclonic Rift returns one non-permanent or all non-permanents to our opponent's hands. As we said already, Mystic Confluence can return any creature to hand. Reality Shifts exiles a creature and its owners manifest the top of their library. Snap returns a creature to hand and untaps 2 lands. Steel Sabotage, as we saw already. Supplant Form returns a creature to hand and we create a token copy of it. Revokes Existence exiles an artifact or an enchantment. Teferi, Hero of Dominaria's -3 puts a permanent third from the top. And finally, Tamiyo My Love can tap any permanent and it won't tap next turn. If we run out of gas, we will most definitely tap. To avoid this, we need a constant flow of draw. Starting with Font of Mythos, it let us draw 2 cards each turn. Baral let us draw and discard a card when we counter a spell. Besides that, it reduces our cost of instants and sorceries by 1. Rhystic Study is the annoying card that makes your opponent hate the phrase, "Are you going to pay 1 or I draw a card?" Trail of Evidence creates a clue every time we cast an instant or sorcery. Teferi's +1 gives us a card and taps 2 land at the end of turn. Tamiyo's -2 draws a card for each tapped creature our opponents control, but to be honest, I have never used it. Our goal is to get Tamiyo with 9 counters and then get the emblem without killing her, just because I love her, but we can also just get her emblem as fast as possible. Then we have Narcissus +1, we reveal the top, and if it's a non-creature, non-land, it goes to our hand. As with Tamiyo, I had never used her -2, because as soon as we can get her emblem, our opponent will probably quit. Anticipate is not technically draw, but let us get a card. Sphinx Revelation gives us X life and X cards, and which Augustin in play is X +2. And then all the other counter spells that we mentioned that can give us cards. We play Future Sight and Precognition Field to be able to play the top of our library too. We are greedy, and we don't want to pay for our spells, while we want to make our opponents pay more. Augustin itself does this, but we want even more. We mentioned Baral already, which reduces the cost by 1. Sakashima the Impostor will be a copy of Augustin, so this will mean that our spells cost between 2 and 4 less to cast, and our opponents have to pay 2 extra. As Foretold, let us pay 0 instead of the cost of a spell per turn with converted mana cost X, where X is the numbers of counters As Foretold has, and it gets a counter at the beginning of each upkeep. This is great to love your opponents if you have no mana available. As we said, Hour of Silence makes them pay 2 extra. Jace Sanctum makes us pay 1 less, and also let us strike when we cast an instant or sorcery. And Rhystic Study again is either pay 1 more or make us draw a card. The deck has no combos. You can use Isochron Scepter or Autumn Chant to null that our opponents play again, not casting spells, and not attacking if we also play the kicker. Or you can put a Boomerang in the Isochron Scepter, and then you can keep returning their lands to hand each turn. Besides that, the real value plays come to know when and what to counter. If you have a Stony Silence, for example, there is no need to counter mana rocks, but if you don't, even if it seems to be ridiculous, the less mana they have available, the better. Another thing you need to consider is to only play Augustin when you are able to play counterspell to protect it, and if your opponents play counter too, better keep mana available to play at least 2 counterspells, one for your Augustin and one for the removal. As we don't want artifacts to be activated with Stony Silence, we only play Soul Ring as mana rock. We play 7 islands and 5 plains: Command Tower, Glacial Fortress, Hallowed Fountain, Irrigated Farmland, Mystic Gate, Nimbus Maze, Port Town, Prairie Stream, Seacrom Coast, Skyshroud Spans, and Temple of Alignment for both colors. Arcane Lighthouse in case they have something with hexproof we need to exile or return to hand. Band Panorama, Grixis Panorama, Floodplain, and Grasslands to search for lands. Note, these are budget fetches. The panoramas bring the lands tapped, while the other centers tap themselves, so have that in mind. Ghost Quarter and Strip Mine to deal against annoying lands. And finally, Reliquary Towers for unlimited hand size. We don't play ramp spell or ramp cards, the closest ones are the panoramas, but just that. You thought you saw all the control already, but you're wrong. Grand Abolisher protects us from counter spells. Meddling Mage and Nevermore let us name a card and that card can be cast. This is going to be usually the commander, but it can be anything we see or we know that they have that is annoying. For example, we can name a foot chain in case they have a foot chain combo. Or if there's something that we can do, for example an uncounterable commander. Frozen Aether makes everything our opponents play enter tap, slowing them down, shooting down haste, and basically making them hate us even more. Mana Shore taps all lands our opponents control and empties their mana pool, so if they played any pact, you kill them with this. Or Enchant, as we said already, doesn't let them cast spells, and if kick, attack won't be an option either. We saw all our draw already. For protection, we only run Lightning Greaves. For the rest of the things, we hope to counter them. We saw already all the artifacts. The only creature we haven't seen yet is Guile. It'll let us steal anything we counter. Besides, it's a 6/6 that needs to be blocked by 3 or more creatures. So if we're going aggro, this is going to be great, especially if we are not going to let them play creature. We saw all the enchantments already, and we have no miscellaneous cards. And this is it. I hadn't realized until writing the script of this video the amount of control we have. It's just insane. I'm not surprised why everyone hates it. I don't remember the last time I lost with this deck, but I don't remember the last time I won either. Normally, my opponent just quit half of the game, tired of not being able to do anything, and I don't consider that a win. That's just like, yeah, I got the victory, but it's not satisfying, to say something. But yeah, this is a really mean deck. I'm still debating if I should add Approach of the Second Sun or not as an alternate win condition. But as I said, they're normally quit before anything, like at the middle of the game, and when you are already countering like 6 or 7 spells in a row, they just get mad and they quit. So I'm not really sure. And besides that, I don't know what to take to make a space for the sun. I was thinking about maybe taking out Cyclonic Rift, because we are normally using Cyclonic Rift for a single thing. We're normally not overloading it. And yeah, maybe that. And because Cyclonic Rift is kind of expensive, so I could save, because I need like, I don't know how many more, but I need some more for other decks, so I could make a space for him. But at the same time, I'm not really sure. I could maybe get something to draw more cards, but just me, not my opponent, because Font of Mythos let my opponents draw 2 cards too. So maybe we can get just the draw, but I'm not really sure. I'm pretty happy with the deck as it is right now. I'm still needing around 4 cards, the 3 more expensive, of course, Force of Will, Mana Drain, and Teferi, and also Sakashima, that is pretty hard to find here, and I haven't have enough money to buy it on the internet. But yeah, this is all I have for you this week. If you liked the video, don't forget to click the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe. Hit the bell to get notified for the video. Again, I'm really sorry for not being able to over those last 2 weeks. I have some family here that was making too much noise, so I couldn't record anything. So yeah, and it was just impossible until now. And maybe, I don't know if this sounds different, I am recording in another room because there are some kids screaming in the street, and believe it or not, even with everything closed, it's still, I mean, they are like 50 meters away from where I'm recording, and I can still listen to their screams. I hope they can be here in the recording. But yeah, I'm trying to make this better, and here I don't have the computer, which usually makes a lot of background noise, so I hope this sounds better than the other videos. And yeah, don't forget to follow me on social media. The links are in the description, as well as deck list of this awful deck that is going to leave you with no friends, in case you want to check it out. Thank you again for watching, and see you in the next one, which will be, by the way, the last episode of the season 1 of the 99. So see you there. Thank you.